Good morning, MolyFitters. Welcome to another MolyFit Live. And in today's session, we'll be dealing with neck and shoulder tension and mainly headaches. What you will need for today's session is a tea towel. So if you haven't got one, I'll just give you a little moment to go and grab one. So let me introduce you to Gemma. Gemma is the brains behind the operation.
Hello.
So she deals with all the technical side of things. And she'll be looking at the comments. So please, what we're trying to do here is build an online community. So feel free, if you've got a comment or a question you want to ask me, send it in and Gemma will relay that to me. Like I say, we want to build this online community and we just want to help with the effects that lockdown has caused. We've been messaged by Nicola that her mum Rosemary has got dodgy knees and a bit of knee pain, so that's what we'll be covering next week. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's deal with this week first of all. So muscle tension. I always say there are three types of people when it comes to muscle tension. People that carry tension in their neck and shoulders, people carry tension in their lower backs, and if you're really lucky, both. You carry your tension in your neck and shoulders and your lower backs. And most muscular pain that I deal with can be fixed. So pain in the body, a lot of pain in the body, is just down to tension. Muscles are soft and squidgy, and unless you're contracting them, they should be soft. And what happens through tension, injury, whatever reason, these muscles harden up and get really tight. And that causes a whole wealth of problems in the body. The first thing is, if you've got tight muscles here, nice, normal actions become difficult and laboured. So just something simple like turning your head, you're going to have to force the muscles. And if you force the muscles, you're putting pressure not only on their attachments, but also the joints, causing other conditions. And when the muscles are that tight, it restricts blood flow. So a lot of headaches, especially that I come across in my day job as a massage therapist, a lot of headaches are simply caused from muscle tension in the neck and shoulders. So what happens is, especially now at the moment, we've just come through lockdown and a cold, dark winter and we're all stressed and tense and anxious. And these muscles have tightened up, they've restricted the blood flow and it gives you a tension headache. And this is what we're going to work out today. Now, one of the best things you can do is get yourself one of these. Now, I actually forgot mine this morning, so I've just gone to a chemist and bought one, and they're $2.99 I paid for this. So it's a really inexpensive way of helping yourself. So I really should have opened it up before we started. Right. Get rid of that. So this is a microwavable bean bag, a wheat bag, and it goes in your microwave. Now they're all different. This one, the label says, for a 1,000-watt microwave, you want it in for 1 minute. So you put it in for 1 minute, heat it up. So if you've got headache or neck pain, just put it on there for 5 minutes and let the warmth get into your body. Now when muscles are warm, they're more flexible. So just by heating up stiff, achy muscles, you can get rid of a lot of pain. And it doesn't have to stop at the neck. You can put it wherever, lower back, hip, knees, whatever. And the good thing about these is as well, if you've got chronic pain, like really sharp stabbing pain with a lot of swelling, so there's an injury or tension or something else, you can put it in the fridge and also use it to ice your muscles. But anyway, definitely get yourself one of these. It's one of the best things you can do to relieve pain and tension. So that's the beanbag. So let's talk about these muscles here. You've got a massive muscle, diamond-shaped muscle called your trapezius. Starts from the top of the neck and it runs down to the shoulders and then down halfway down the middle of the back. Now modern day life is, I always say, modern day life is very chesty. And what I mean by that, we spend a lot of time hunched over like this with our body weight in our chests and shoulders. And that's like on the computer. That can be driving, that's doing all sorts of things. And we sit here like this a lot. And what happens is these big, massive chest muscles tighten up And the big muscles at the back loosen off. And what happens is, if we maintained perfect posture, so I had a nice neutral spine and my core was on and my shoulders were loose in the correct position, then everything sits as nature intended and you wouldn't get much pain. But what happens is these muscles tighten up, pull yourself forward, and look what happens to my lower back. As I come forward, I put my body weight in my lower back, and then all of a sudden, the weight of my arms, which weigh quite a lot, instead of sitting on my shoulder joint, it's now hanging off my neck. So you've got these big things hanging off your neck, causing pain and tension. So that's what we're going to try and correct. So I'm not going to waffle on about posture too much today's session. We're just going to try and loosen these muscles off. So the easiest thing you can do is just sit yourself up nice and straight and breathe. Okay, just breathe and get the oxygen in your body, and that will relax your muscles in itself. So we're just going to spend 30 seconds breathing. Okay, and when was the last time you actually sat down and just breathed? So let's start with this. Nice big deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, and just breathe. Now, try and sit yourself up as straight as you can, and your body, it won't take too long before your body starts complaining at you. So that's 20 seconds. Let's do it another 10 seconds. Right, so you should by now start feeling aches and pains that you probably didn't even know you had. And that's the problem. Things stiffen up, they live there, and you don't know about them until it's too late, and you reach for something or turn your head and... So by sitting here like this, we're relaxing, we're breathing, but it also gives us a little indication of where's tight and where we need to stretch. And if you go on my website, I've got a whole list of stretches and exercises in the exercise library that you can have a look at and stretch the specific muscles. But anyway, so let's do a little test. Let's sit up straight and let's just turn the head gently to the left. And it should be a nice smooth action. You might feel that you're sort of having to strain or do that. You can't quite look over your shoulder. And just hold it there for 10, 9, 8, 7, and just stretch the muscles. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently back to center. When you do these exercises, try not to drastically go from side to side because you can make yourself dizzy. So let's go to the other side. Gently look over the right shoulder. And is it a smooth action? Can you just turn your head nice and easy, or are you having to look down or look up or strain? So again, that gives you an idea of what's tight and what we need to fix. And then back to center. We're going to start with loosening off the upper fibers of the trapezius. Really simple. Keep your arms straight. Lift up and roll back. And as you lift up and roll back, stick the chest out. And the more clunking and cracking you can hear, don't worry about that, that's a good thing. The more the merrier. Because what you've got is these muscle fibers that slide together like so with movement, get adhesive, stuck together and knotted. And that clunking is literally the muscle fibers unpicking. So the more of that we want, the better. Now, it should just clunk and just be a bit of a nasty sound. If it clunks with pain, then worry about it. But if it's just making noise, carry on. We're going to do it. Let's do another 5. Nice big ones. Keep the arms straight. Try not to bend the arms. And let's go up and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Next one, let's take our chin down to our chest. So trying to keep everything straight from here to here. Keep it nice and straight. Take your chin down to your chest. And you're stretching those muscles either side of the spine now. So keep breathing and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Perfect. So now let's deal with the main culprit, the chest muscle. We're going to do a really, well, say a nice easy exercise. It's easy if you can do it, but if you're really stiff and tense, it's not so easy. It's called the cactus. Now I love this exercise because it's simple to do. You just need to be sitting down. You can even do it standing. You don't need any equipment, and it's effective. It loosens the chest and it strengthens these big muscles here because we're trying to get you back into position. So it's called the cactus. Make yourself look like a cactus. Now with this, elbow 90 degrees, and you want your hand directly on top of your elbow like that. So you can look at your arms. In that position, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Now you can see there wasn't much movement when I squeezed. What you don't want is this, and put loads of movement in. You just want to activate these muscles. So if I turn around and show you. So you're going to sit up nice and straight, put everything in position, and then squeeze the shoulder blades together. And let's hold that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. So if you look, I can activate these muscles without putting much movement with my arms. I'm just tightening these muscles. And what I'm doing is I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together. So I'm trying to pull these muscles that come from my shoulder towards my back. And that activates the big trapezius muscles. So that's the cactus. Now what you can do with the cactus is you can do it, pop yourself up against the wall and do it. That's always a good indicator of how good or not good you're doing. See if you can do a cactus against a wall. You'll probably find that you can't get your hands there or you can't get your wrists. And anyway, it's just a nice, gentle way of stretching these muscles. Now for the T-tail. Best bit of exercise equipment money can buy this. So we're going to fold it in half and half again, lengthways. And we're going to hold the T-tail with our arms shoulder distance apart. Okay, so not too close and not too wide, about shoulder distance apart. And then sit yourself up straight. Now, the first thing you need to think about is your feet position. If you have your feet tucked in like so, that's shortening your hamstrings and that will put pressure on your lower back. It just tilts the pelvis and puts more body weight than we need into our lower backs. So make sure the feet 90 degrees at the knee with the heel underneath the knee. Sit yourself up straight. Try and activate your core muscles. I will talk about this in another session, but just for now, just imagine you've got a zip that goes from your groin to your belly button and gently pull it in. Don't pull it in too tight because one of the core muscles is the diaphragm, and if you pull it in too tight, you tend to stop breathing. So just be aware that something's activated here. And then we want a neutral spine. And what I mean by a neutral spine is there's no body weight, unnecessary body weight passing in the spine. So if you can feel your lower back, your spine's not neutral. So just try and position yourself so you can't feel any body weight going into your back. So we're going to hold the T-tail and we're just going to row. We're going to pull the T-tail underneath the bust into the belly button, like so. Nice and easy. Head up, eyes forward, like so. And try and relax your shoulders. You may find your shoulders are up here without realizing. So just relax the shoulders and pull in, okay? I'm just going to turn round so you can see the action from the rear. So I'm pulling in and I want my arms in, elbows as far back as they can. And as I pull back, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together, like so. So, like that, elbows in, so your elbows aren't out, your elbows are in, and you're pulling into your belly button. Right, so let's start from the beginning. Let's do 10 of those. So first things first, what are your feet doing? So feet hip distance apart, heels under knees, sit yourself up straight, open your chest and relax your shoulders. Make sure you've got something happening in your core. You can't feel anything in your back. Grab the tea towel and let's do 10 of these. Elbows in, pulling us back as far as you can, squeezing the shoulder blade. That's number 2. 3, keep your head up, keep that pressure out of your neck. 4, 5, good. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and rest. Now that should, you know if you've done it properly, because it should feel like something's working. It should start to feel a little bit warm and a bit tired. All right, let's do a second set. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. That's the important thing on this exercise. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and rest. So we're just going to breathe. Let's try and get you in the habit of breathing a few times during the day. Just breathe. I can't stress the importance of such a simple thing like breathing. Just you need that oxygen in your body to replenish it and give it energy and all sorts of things. So just every now and then, taking a few big deep breaths throughout the day. Right, let's do one more set of the mid row. Make sure everything's in position and let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. And rest. Right, let's have a little rest before we get on to the next exercise. So whilst we're resting, I'll just tell you a funny story. So I'm a sports therapist, a massage therapist, so I'll come to your house, whatever problem you've got, loosen it off, try and get rid of your pain. So obviously I haven't worked since, well, November. I've got a lot of clients, spent all day yesterday going around to see clients, and the last client of the day is a lovely lady who's a doctor. I won't mention any names. And I was talking to her and I was just saying, you know, to make myself and my clients feel safe, I've opted to do the test yourself at home twice weekly. Gemma's looking at me like, what am I going to say? So I'm doing the twice weekly COVID test. And it's adamant. When you get a little pamphlet with it, tells you how to do it, and there's a little video you can watch tells you how to do it, and it's adamant. When you're swabbing, you have to swab your mouth and your nose, and when you are swabbing, make sure you swab your mouth first, not your nose, swab your mouth first. So I'm thinking, what is the scientific reason for swabbing your mouth first? Why can't you start with the nose? What difference does it make if you're using the same thing to swab here from here? And so I'm asking this doctor, I said, well, what is the scientific reason? What is? She just looks at me, gives me this look, like most people do, and says, John, do you really want to put your own bogies in your mouth? That's the reason then. Right, so back to loosening off the neck. So we're going to hold the towel at the ends now. And you want to keep the towel taut, okay? You don't want the towel to bend. Now this one's going to be a bit difficult if you're stiff, so we're going to take it easy. So you hold the towel and you lift it up. And what we're going to try and do here is, keeping the towel tight, we're going to try and pull down behind the neck, okay? Go no lower than the base of the neck. It should be a nice, smooth action. Now you may find your body cheats. Now your body will always try and find the easiest way to do something, right? It can't be trusted. It always will try and cheat. And it might be if you're stiff or the muscles are weak, your chest is tight, for whatever reason, when you do this exercise, you'll compensate. You'll either put your head down or bring the towel. So rather than trying to get behind the neck first of all, let's go to the top of the head and then we'll work our way back with each set. So straighten yourself up, arms up, keep the towel taut, and let's go down to the head and up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. Right, so if that felt all right, if that felt easy, great. Right, so Gemma said we've got a question.
Marilyn would like to know, should you do these once a day?
Marilyn, yes, do these exercises once a day. So throughout the day, we're always increasing tension. I always say at the end of the day, just do these exercises. So just before you've sort of sat down to have your tea, have a little loosen off. Take out all the tension that the day's put into your body. So do the exercises then. And also, if you're feeling particularly tight, use them as a warm-up as well. But I would personally, I do these exercises every day. Right, so if that felt okay, going down to the top of the head, let's make it a bit harder. If that felt awkward, then stick to going to the top of the head. Remember, keep the towel tight. Arms up, and let's pull down to there. Try not to bend the wrist, lower the head, try and keep it. Feel the muscles working. So as you squeeze the towel, you can feel your upper back muscles working and your chest stretching. Let's do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Now, one thing to look out here, your body might cheat by what I call hyperextending the back, which is arching your back. So make sure when you're doing that exercise, you're not arching your lower back. So you can sit yourself a bit further into the back of the chair and use that for support. And then you'll feel, if you're arching, because you'll feel yourself coming away from the back of the chair. So let's do 1 more of these. Get yourself in the right position. And let's go. 1. Remember to breathe. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. So that's it for today. So as Marilyn said, yes, do these exercises every day. But the best thing you can do is get one of those bean bags and loosen them off and give them a little stretch. Because there's 2 ways you ease tight muscles off, and that's heat and stretch. So I will look forward to seeing you next week, and we're going to be dealing with knees. So until then, stay well and stay MolyFit.